Hey everyone, Tin Man here. I'm back with some more Dota Underlords. Going to be playing some ranked standard mode here. Once everyone connects in, taking a look at the lobby, we've got a pretty stacked lobby. Got number, or at least one Lord above me. I'm ranked 89 right now. Pretty good rank. Cracked into the top 100 earlier today, so pretty happy about that. Let's see if we can keep climbing, maybe move up to top 50. Who knows? Alright, now that everyone's connected in, let's take a look around. We've got a pair of Razors, which kind of lends itself towards, a mage build, but I'm not sure that's really, I'm not sure if it's really the strongest build in the current meta, but it can work, and luckily most opponents are like a really good range here for Razors to get maximum value out of their abilities, because his damage increases the further away opponents are from it. So the further away opponents are, the more damage he'll deal, and just overall the better things will be. Unfortunately, we are going to lose here. That's actually kind of weird. He got punched up, so the animation kind of got really messed up there. We do take a loss, but we get a nice free reroll here for just 2 damage taken. Not overly concerned with that. Now, Voidstone is particularly good in a mage comp, or honestly just in a comp with Bounty Hunter. I just like this with Bounty Hunter because he has a very short cooldown, just 5 seconds. And from just naturally auto-attacking, he's almost certainly not going to get that ability ready in 5 seconds. So giving him this this Voidstone means he's probably going to be casting on cooldown much more often. Now let's take reroll here. We get another Bounty Hunter. We also get an Axe. I kind of want to go for double Brutes here as a bit tankier of a front line. And then maybe I sell off, say, the Mr. Warlock here for a second Bounty Hunter. We do have a, some Primordials here. Primordial buff, not really that helpful, if I'm being honest. It's just okay. The Eidolons are not that appealing. I'm honestly kind of looking at Venomancer and Batrider. Maybe I want instead of this Tiny. There's a lot of people on Beastmaster already, so I may not want to be going for Brawnies if I'm really going to have to compete for those kind of units. Let's pick up... I think probably Venomancer has a slightly higher upside. Knights are maybe a little bit underrated in the current meta. I think I've kind of been down on Knights for a while, but I think they're actually a little bit stronger than I give them credit for. There's a Treant Protector who's definitely stronger. Very, very powerful unit. Unfortunately, we do get double Tiny in this pack right after we sell off the Tiny. So that's never ideal, but we do find a 2-star Bounty Hunter. I could put in a Druid bonus, or I could take the Guaranteed Roots. I think I'm going to take the risk and hopefully get a 2-star Treant out of the deal here. No, we get a 2-star Shadow Shaman, unfortunately. 2-star Treant is just like the most powerful unit in the game, certainly in the early game here. But a 2-star Bounty Hunter casting his Big Shuriken every 5 seconds is also sure to be in good shape, because you can see he's really using that Voidstone. His mana gain is not naturally high enough to keep pace with his cooldown. But here in this particular fight, he was able to. I think I'm actually going to sell off this... Well, maybe not. I was going to sell off this extra Axe, but it seems like both people who were on Beastmaster before moved away from it. So maybe Axe has a bit more utility than a potential at a Tiny here to pair up with the Treant Protector. If we get him a 2-star, Tiny and Razor maybe just not really fitting what we're trying to do here. There's a Venomancer, very good, and another Treant Protector. I think what I want to do is probably just sell off these Tinies and Razors here, because I don't think we're going to go towards a mage build, given the fact that we got a lot of Warlocks and kind of Brutes, Druids kind of combos, rather than more mages. And we'll just see how this goes. I think we should be in pretty good shape, though, against most opponents. Even this who's at 2-2-stars, we do as well. And I think our Bounty Hunter is stronger than what they're bringing to the table. Because, like, look, because of this Voidstone, he's able to cast right on cooldown, even though his attacks and the Ogre, he normally wouldn't cast this quickly. But he's dealing tons of damage with the Shuriken toss. So now that interest is locked in, let's buy the Venomancer, the Treant Protector. I guess I can, in theory, just buy this whole pack, although I don't think we're going to go for these other guys. They don't really synergize with our other units. Now, we could put in the Venomancer over the Druid bonus here, but I think what I actually want to do is just level up and put him in naturally. He doesn't give me any synergy, but he is a 2-star unit, and I can just sell off some of these less useful units that don't really give us any synergies or are 2 stars yet, and get up to 10 gold for interest. Now, Venomancer is pretty good in a number of builds, and he kind of goes really well with a Druid kind of maybe Brute start, because he finds natural synergy with, say, Lone Druid, because you get Savages, and then with like Witch Doctor with Shadow Shaman. So if you get a Witch Doctor to give you Trolls, well then he gives you Warlocks from there. So he doesn't give me any synergies right now, but he does actually play into some of the units we already have on board later on, or like other units that we want to put in. He'll eventually synergize with. In the meantime, this Bounty Hunter is a really big carry. I'm really a big fan of Voidstone on Bounty Hunter. That is one of the best items for him. I guess I can pick up everything in this pack, although not a huge fan of trying to play them. They don't really fit into this kind of core unit assignment here. We already have 1 Voidstone. I don't think a second one is really that appealing. We're probably only going to have 1 unit that needs that. Let's pick up the Stonehull Cloak. Unfortunately, nobody else but Bounty Hunter really has items or has kills yet. I'll put it in Treant Protector because eventually he's hopefully going to pick up some kills. Now these units, not that appealing. I think I'm just going to sell off to try to get up to 20 gold here for interest. Oh, perfect. I have exactly enough of those units to get me up to exactly 20. And now this should put us in pretty good shape. I'm going to jump back a little bit more into the corner. Hopefully keep the Treant Protector, take him a little bit longer to get into combat because I don't want everyone focus firing him down. He is luckily a 2-star, so that's ideal, getting the 2-star Treant, and if we're really lucky, we might be able to win this duel. Come on, win the duel, win the duel! No, so close. 1 more auto. Could have won that. Gotten us some free damage on our Venomancer. See, Witch Doctor here completes 2 alliances based on what we currently have, the Trolls and the Warlocks, so he's a good next unit, unless we get another Brute. And once again, we just buy everything at the end of the turn, just in case we find a 2-star that maybe that changes our decision making. Nothing really here, but I do have a good win streak going. And I have a really good unit to put in. I think I'm just going to sell off this IO to get up to 30 gold. One option here is to kind of preempt the level. Most people are not going to level to 5 until next turn. And you could spend 15 gold here to get there and kind of really ensure you get a win streak going by just, you know, having an extra unit over everybody else. But I do have a good unit to put in, but I think my other option of just taking the guaranteed 3 gold of interest is better, and I actually do keep the win streak anyway, because I'm still pretty reasonably powerful, especially if Treant Protector is the one to get to 2-star with the Druids. So I'm okay with that. Now, of course, this Stonehull Cloak would be so much better on the Bounty Hunter with so many more kills, but I still think Voidstone might be the pick on him. Oh, we do get a 2-star Treant. That's insane. Alright, now that it only costs 10 gold to level, let's do that. And I can either throw in Witch Doctor to give me Brute or Trolls and Warlocks, or I can just drag in the Ogre Magi, who's pretty good and gives me... I think he's a slightly better unit than Witch Doctor, just like if we're comparing 1v1. And Brute bonus is, I think, worth slightly more at this point in the game than the Trolls or the Warlock bonus. That it's a big flat damage bonus, just 80 damage on every attack, or rather every application of the debuff. And of course, when everybody only has, you know, 1,000 HP or, you know, a couple hundred HP, that 80 damage is a very substantial portion of that. Whereas the Warlock healing is kind of percentage based and is not quite as substantial. So off to a pretty great start here. We do have a 7-round win streak after that unfortunate early loss, but other than that, we've been able to turn it around. And with a 2-star Treant Protector, I just feel like we're going to go on a nice, strong win streak here. Probably can complete this up, unless somebody else managed to roll something better, but I doubt it. In fact, I really could assure that we do this by just compromising 1 point of interest. I actually want to do that. I'm going to spend 20 gold here to level to 6, put in the Witch Doctor, kind of get best of both worlds. Yeah, I lose 1 point of interest, but an extra unit almost certainly ensures that we get this win streak, and I think completing the win streak is just such a massive bonus that I'm willing to take the 1 gold sacrifice just to really lock that in. And hopefully it'll deal more damage to our opponents, since we should beat them a little bit harder than we would have before. Hopefully with everybody still alive. That would be nice. To deal lots of damage to him. It looks like we do with everybody alive, and we deal a massive chunk of 10 damage to the opponent there. So, after interest is locked in, we pick up these guys. Definitely don't need Storm Spirit. That's one that I'm pretty sure we don't need. I'm not even convinced that I want Beastmaster, but, you know, an early-ish 2-star Beastmaster is still quite substantial. Okay, not a big fan of these Underlords. I think they're all pretty bad. I like Support Hobgon or Healing in Essex the most. I think I'm just going to take high damage Hobgon. He, despite his name, doesn't actually really do that high of damage, but I still think it's a slightly better than Jull in this build. I just think Jull falls over a little bit too easily. Alright, let's sell off to get up to 30 gold of interest. Probably the Juggernaut and the Tinker here. Tinker we could get a pair of, but he doesn't give any kind of synergies to what we're looking for. We're looking at kind of a... This kind of core of alliances here. Troll, Druid, Warlock, Brutes is a very common like nucleus to build around in the current meta, and I think it's very strong, and I'm very happy with it to run a build like this. Looks like we do get the win here, and we've already completed our win streak, so we've got lots of gold, and we can pick up this Witch Doctor to get a pair of that. Could pick up a pair of Abaddons, but I'm kind of at the point where I know that we don't want these because they don't give any kind of synergies towards what we want. Now, Blink Dagger could be good if we run with Axe, but the fact that we don't have a 2-star Axe yet makes me want to pick a much more consistent unit, or more consistent item, like this Desolator, which is just always going to get good value and always be giving us bonus damage. So there is a 2-star Beastmaster, which we might want to play with the Axe if we get there for more Brawnies. So I'm kind of inclined to put him in. I don't feel like I should level up just yet to put him in. Pair of Lycans is also kind of appealing. I've been a big fan of Lycan recently. I've been like steadily gaining respect for Lycan. He, especially in a Savage build, if you have especially 4 Savages, he's so incredibly powerful. Just to really amp up his damage over time. He's very tanky. He moves very quickly, so he gets from one target to the next target very quickly. And so that does a lot for you. Unfortunately, we do take a loss here, just barely. But we've already completed our win streak, so I'm not that concerned about it. And let's do a second place player who's got lots of Assassins. We're seeing a lot of Assassins in this game, so the best counter to Assassins, from what I found, is Brutes and kind of a corner stack positioning, which we kind of already have. But more Brutes, just to really stop them from getting lots of big auto attacks off. So we do see an Alchemist here who goes well into our Warlock game plan, as it gives us another Scrappy even. Maybe Lycan is not quite what we want, just because I am seeing a lot of these Assassins, and while Lycan is okay into Assassins, I think I want more Brutes, and I think going more Savages kind of reduces our ability to go for more Brutes. So we're gonna go a little bit heavier that direction, and maybe throw in a Beastmaster to pair with the Axe, whose AoE is, I mean, it's not particularly strong against Assassins. It's fine against them, but it does clear out all the insects very well, which most of the Assassin players are going to have a good number of. Don't think this is a Legion Commander build, unfortunately, although I love me some Legion Commander builds. Don't forget to use our free reroll, and I'm even going to pump our gold in so we can level up to 7 here, starting next turn to put in this Beastmaster. We do find a Witch Doctor, and we still stay at 30 gold, so this is pretty much just lining up perfectly for us here. I think I might want to put this Desolator over on Beastmaster, just so that whoever he's attacking, he can really hopefully shred right through and maybe get an extra kill or two. And I probably want to pick up Shadow Fiend. Although Warlocks are not that great against Assassins, they are very good against some of the Scrappy builds, just because the Scrappy builds lack enough direct damage, at least until they get a Gyrocopter and Deadeye, to really burn through your extra healing. So I still think I'll hold open the possibility of Shadow Fiend if we manage to get him up to 2-star. There's actually a pretty reasonably high damage Hobgon there, over 1,000 damage from friendly fire, but unfortunately the rest of our board just it completely evaporated. Well, I thought it was looking good for a moment, and then that golem. Well, that golem did quite a bit more than Hopkin did. Let's just say that. Okay, there's a bounty hunter. I'm not really thrilled about him though. I think we're eventually cutting him in this build. He just kind of falls off in effectiveness later in the game. Although he's very good here in the early game. Somehow Witch Doctor was the second most damage. That's pretty crazy. Would not have expected that. He does have, of course, the troll bonus, but even so, his auto attack is nothing to write home about. It's 80 DPS. His cask is fine, but not really like a high damage source. So, kind of unusual to see that. Certainly more so than like Beastmaster or something. Luckily, Beastmaster's getting a couple of kills on these fights, maybe giving us a bit more brawny power here. Even though we have this Beastmaster, I still think Ogre Magi is a touch better because we don't have too many brawny kills yet, and Ogre Magi, I think, is just a slightly stronger unit right now than Axe. Although, Bristleback probably changes that equation. I kind of like Bristleback maybe over this Bounty Hunter. I don't think he really needs this item, but couldn't hurt, I suppose. Yeah, I think Bounty Hunter's probably just never going to make it back into this build. So let's sell him off by the Shadow Fiend. Yeah, he really doesn't need this bonus mana. He's mainly going to be cooldown limited. But I ran out of time, so I need to find somebody to put it on. Really, none of my units are going to be that limited by cooldown, other than maybe Treant Protector, but he's much better holding the Stonehall Cloak for bonus HP. Nice solid win here. Maybe Beastmaster? Maybe Witch Doctor? I'm not sure. Let's put it on Witch Doctor. Blade Mail. I do like Blade Mail on some of our tanky frontliners. Ogre Magi, if he was up to 2-star, I'd be really happy about that. But, you know, he's still fine at the moment, just to get a little bit extra armor, keep him a little bit more survivable. There's another Beastmaster, and he's a great one to get up to 3-star if possible. But I don't really have space for him right now. I think I just want to start leveling and then buy him at the end of turn and maybe level up to 8 next turn. It's not like the most efficient because normally you level up when your XP is multiple of 5, but I have so much excess gold, like I can do it and not compromise my interest at all. So that still seems reasonable to me. My opponent has a 2-star Dragon Knight with a big time contract. That is absurd, needless to say. Yeah, I'm not going to beat that. 7,000 damage, okay. Did more auto attack damage than my Beastmaster did total. That's impressive. Don't think we really want Juggernaut in this Brawny build. I think if we get a 4th Brawny, if we ever get there, is going to be Disruptor for more Warlocks. But we're still plenty healthy, so we're not really at any kind of risk here of falling too far behind. Let's just level and put in this Alchemist. And yeah, I might... Should I lose some interest? Or... maybe I just sell off Axe. And maybe this Venno. I don't think getting those to 3 stars is very realistic. And even playing Axe doesn't seem all that great if we're not going to get up to 4 Brawnies. So I'd rather just make sure we lock in our interest since we're leveling up kind of early. And we did just lose our win streak, so I'm not quite as rich as I'd really like to be. But that's alright, we're still doing quite strong, despite having a couple of 1-stars still in our build. The Ogre and the Bristleback still looking pretty strong. Beastmaster really carrying these fights. It was Bristleback. Just big AoE physical damage, backed up by the tankiness of the Druids and Warlocks. Is a pretty good combination at this point in the game. Actually, this Blade Mail should just be over on Bristleback, right? He has more HP and more health, so he's just better to hold that. Let's use our reroll before we forget. I've been known to forget that while recording videos, because sometimes it just slips your mind sometimes. And I guess we still have a 1-star Shadow Shaman somehow. Just realized that. Let's use some rerolls here. We do find a Lone Druid, which I think I'm okay to replace the Shadow Shaman with, yes, I lose the Troll bonus, and I don't really gain a new tier of Savage, but Lone Druid's just such a better unit that I think I'm okay with that exchange. If I want another Savage, it's probably not going to be Lycan, although Lycan is okay. I think I want Sand King. I really value Sand King's stun. I think that's just very, very impactful. Sand King's AoE stun in a lot of cases, and he seems like he deals quite a bit of damage as well. So I think if we get up to another Savage, it probably wants to be Sand King. Fortunately, we do take a loss here, big one, to a... What are they running? Legion Commander stuff. The best definition of it is just Legion Commander stuff. I don't think we want Venomancer, like we said. Use the free reroll. Another Lone Druid. Would I ever want to get Shadow Shaman back? Probably not. There's a Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend might be better right now than just this Bristleback. Yeah, Bristleback does a lot of damage, but Shadow Fiend 2-star also, and it gives us 4 Warlocks. Now, we do have this Witch Doctor who's kind of now like stranded, doesn't have the Troll bonus, so we either want to get a Troll Warlord or replace him with something like Disruptor for that fourth Warlock slot, because you generally want to be as efficient as possible and not wasting any extra tags where you could find something to combine that with. Fortunately, you can take another loss here to somebody on a good win streak with a scrappy build. Still lots of Assassins near the top of the tables here, so I'm a little worried if our Warlocks are going to really hold up. We'll see. Or if it's better to go with some more Savages. I'd really like to get a 2-star on some of these guys. They're in Bristle, or I guess maybe Beastmaster's probably carrying a bit more weight than the Bristleback will, but we may end up having to swap over to Bristle and Lycan rather than Beastmaster at some point in the future. That being said, we're still relatively healthy. This is one opponent who we did lose to a few rounds back, and I think we have some upgrades, but not a lot since then. They still are going to focus fire down some of our guys. I guess we did get the Warlock bonus, which is a big help. Unfortunately, Shadow Fiend is all kinds of chickeny. Doesn't look like it's going to be enough. It's close. We did get friendly fire off right before he died, but a 10 HP Legion Commander survives with that Aphotic Shield. Unlucky. No matter, even though we've lost, what, 3 rounds in a row right now, I don't actually feel that weak, because it's just been against 2 separate opponents who both have been on win streaks. We faced the 2 people who are currently on win streaks, and I think against most other opponents we're probably pretty okay. So I'm not going to panic just yet. So there's 2 really good options here. Silver Edge gives us additional attack speed to stack up with Savages, but Mechanism just heals an insane amount. I'm just like a huge fan of Mechanism. I think this item is just absolutely insane, and I just want to play Mechanism as much as possible. So I'm going to pick that up. Pair of Dragon Knights is also really good, although I don't think we're going to play Dragon Knight. You never know. We do have the Lycan, so I kind of want to go up to 4 Savages and just put in Bristleback Lycan as my next 2 units, rather than play Dragon Knight. And I might just do that for next level, and then eventually replace the Witch Doctor with a Disruptor. Maybe we don't even need Beastmaster if we really need to make space, but Beastmaster does so much damage. Like, I really don't want to give up all that damage output that he provides. Sand King, as we can see from our opponent, is really messing us up a little bit, but luckily... Oh, nope. Those insects got us at the end. I was about to say, luckily we can still deal with it. So Sand King is probably a touch better than Lycan in the late game, and maybe a Doom better than an Ogre Magi. Really getting to that point. Unfortunately, most of our healing was negated by that Assassin bonus. That Mechanism only healed for 1,300, which is not nearly as much healing as it typically does. It typically does like 4,000 or 5,000 healing. Alright, definitely got the Lone Druid. I'll pick up the Ogre Magi, although I do think I'm going to replace Ogre Magi at some point. It's fine to pick him up right here. And pick up another Treant, and maybe another Lycan. I don't know, if we get a 3-star Lycan, maybe that's still fine. I don't think I really care for this Dragon Knight, though. Even if I got him to 2-star, it's like, how do I fit Dragon Knight plus a Dragon in here? I'm mainly just holding on to him to deny Dragon Knights from my opponents, because I know every scrappy opponent wants Dragon Knight, and I think most, well, maybe not the Assassins, maybe the Assassins even do with Viper, but I just know Dragon Knight is a very contested unit, and by just holding on to 2 of them on my bench, I deny them from opponents from picking them up, and when it doesn't really cost me an interest, I think that's a reasonable strategy. Nice. Another Shadow Fiend ult. You get a second ult off. Will it be enough? No. But it will be enough to save us some life total. And we're about to level up here for this next turn. And not lose too much. So let's make this swap, I guess. Yeah, I lose the Beastmaster, but we get the Savage bonus, which should be pretty useful. Another Bristleback. Let's get rid of these Dragon Knights. Beastmaster may still get played if we level up one more time. But right now I'd rather complete 4 Savage, 4 Warlocks. Maybe I should have sold off this extra Lycan to get back up to 30. 3-star Lycan seems a little bit unlikely, given the fact that we've been losing a couple rounds here, and my life total is sub 50. Come on, Shadow Fiend. Big damage. Yeah, he finally got to cast after being silenced and really could not capitalize on actually finishing his cast. We took another chunk of 10. Darn it. Their whole board is super low. Man. Yeah, 4 Warlocks, not so great in a world of 6 Assassins. I really wanted more Brutes, but we just haven't really seen them. We haven't seen Doom, haven't seen Axes. Maybe we saw Axes early, but even so, they'd be kind of weak by now. There's a 2-star Bristle. That should be a pretty good deal. And, anybody, I want to put these items, maybe I just put Voidstone over on, nah, I think I still keep it on Witch Doctor. I kind of want him to cast quickly. So, I think there may be some value to just, like, leveling up to 10 ASAP. Now, there are some upgrades I could find if I don't level up, right? If I just started re-rolling, I could potentially find, say, 2-star Alchemist. I could find maybe 3-star Treant. That's a little ways away. But I think it's much more likely that I want to find. I just want to throw in a Beastmaster here, and we just got crushed by another Assassin build. Holy cow! This Assassin build is insane. They have a 2-star Faceless Void already. Wow. Okay. On round 25, that is very early for a 2-star Ace. Excuse me. Well, we do find the 2-star Alchemist. So now how much does it cost? 45 gold? Looks like I gotta wait at least one more turn in order to not have to sell off this extra Treant. I could actually get there exactly if I sold off the Treant, but then I have nothing to ever work towards. I don't think I'm gonna get eliminated next turn. I might? I hope not. If I do get eliminated here, it's gonna look a little silly that I didn't level, but I think I can wait one more turn. I don't think I'm going to get eliminated. I don't think I'm going to take 17. I don't think I'm that weak. Yeah, it looks like we're actually winning here. Nice. And this really just like lets us keep onto this Treant Protector, so we actually have something to work towards in the future here. Once we've leveled up and put in the Beastmaster, who's doesn't, I guess, gives us Brawny. I was going to say doesn't give us alliances, but does give us Brawny. But still, it's not like the end-all, be-all here. I want to move this on Bristleback, actually. Ooh, Mask of Madness and Moonshard. Definitely want Moonshard to increase attack speed of our Savages and really ramp up the Savage damage output. Probably want that over on Bristleback. He hits real hard and generally survives for quite a while. Or we could give him... we could give Bristleback the Blade Mail, because he's pretty tanky. It's not that important. I want to keep the Brutes a little bit spread out here, but I still want... I want the Brutes a little bit spread out so they can spread their debuff, but I do want Ogre roughly centrally located. I could do a bit more of like a stacked in a corner, like a 3x3 box, but I think that's a little bit weaker against these Faceless Voids who are just gonna like stun everybody up. Whereas this way, he hopefully only hits a couple of people instead of everybody all at once. At least that's the plan. And it's looking like that worked pretty well. Faceless Void did hit pretty hard, but the rest of our, like, it didn't hit everybody, just hit a fraction of our board. And the Bristleback 2-star doing really good work here. Top DPS by far. And hopefully we can get some of these assassins out. Still kind of looking for Doom over this Ogre Magi. There is a Doom, but I guess I should clarify Doom 2-star. So I think I'm going to get rid of this extra Lycan and this Beastmaster just because getting them to 3 stars seems very unrealistic at this point. We don't have any progress and we're pretty low. We're like in 1 or 2 shot range. And yeah, so I think we just picked that up here. Does Troll Warlord make any sense? Not really. There's nobody we could really cut for Troll Warlord that would be any good to cut. Fortunately, Shadow Fiend goes down instantly to their Deadeye bonus. This could be a tough opponent here, too. I was so caught up with the Assassins, I forgot there's non-Assassin players in the lobby. There's some Deadeye opponents. Luckily, Hobgin does get his ult off. Will it be enough? Yes. The Bear is wreaking havoc on their backline and should be enough to beat this Golem 1v1 and eliminate them, actually. Nice. Perfect. Alright, so we at least lock in the top 4 position here. And it's me versus 3 assassins. How wonderful. So, I think that means I should just put my Brutes in the back line. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. And... oh, well, there's a 2-star Doom. Remember what I was saying about replacing Ogre Magi with Doom? Well, there we go. Let's sell off the Ogre Magi. Probably don't need Troll Warlord either. Kind of looking for Disruptor, but honestly, 4 Warlocks. Actually, maybe I should have even kept the Ogres to go up to 4 Brutes, because 4 Warlocks may not be that important. I just kind of realized. Probably isn't that important. Alright, Chrono Cube on just about half our board. That's not the worst. Luckily, we got a good Doom on their Dragon Knight. Oh, that's perfect. Their Dragon Knight's like a big backline carry, and just taking that out right away is super important. I think this actually eliminates them. This deals 14, right? Oh, easily. 16. Nice. Moving up, and the other Assassins are dealing damage to each other. So this seems to be a good combination against the Assassins. Unfortunately, both opponents have a 2-star Faceless Void. The one we just eliminated had a 1-star. So we'll have to be a little cautious here still. Honestly, I don't think Shadow Fiend's doing anything. I mean, I guess he did cast in that last fight. I think it may be better as Disruptor, if I'm being honest. I don't feel like that's realistic against most of these Assassins. I feel like Shadow Fiend is the one who just dies so quick that maybe Disruptor, because he doesn't have a channel on his ult, is just going to be a better bet here against these Assassin opponents. And, I mean, I want Disruptor no matter what. I just didn't know if I should replace Witch Doctor, but honestly I think the stuns from Witch Doctor are pretty good when we just need to buy a few extra seconds to burst out these Assassins. Because they're pretty weak on their own. So if we get a few bonus seconds, maybe that's all we need. Alright, so unfortunately we just lost to this opponent down to 3 life, but we've at least locked in top 2 here. And, how do we want to deal with this? I think maybe we can abuse this this Disruptor, right? So let's see if I can get this Disruptor to like cast first and have everyone nice and stacked up together, and and we just use Disruptor to just oh, it's a 2-star Disruptor now too. I probably should give him the Void Stone. To just cast like on my group people, hopefully before their Faceless Void casts. No, he casts over there. Darn it! I wanted him to cast right here in the middle and deny everybody from casting like this Faceless Void in particular, but it is. I don't know if it's working or not. It's not working. Ugh. I really needed the idea was to have everyone nice and stacked up and then get Disruptor to cast and silence all their jumping assassins and then hopefully kill them during that duration, or at least almost knock them out. Unfortunately, not quite good enough. 4 Warlocks, kind of bad matchups against these assassins, although it can go in favor of the Warlocks. It's not a slam dunk by any means. I kind of think I probably should have gone for more Brutes, though, to be fair. But I don't know if that would have really helped here in that last fight where I was really just getting beat up by the Dragon Knight at range, and if we got a Doom on him, we could win that. Or just the big AoE damage from Queen of Pain and Sand King just really disrupting our formation, same with the Faceless Void. So despite the fact that 3 opponents going for Assassins, a lot of them still got all the upgrades they needed, so little unfortunate in that regard, but I still really like this build. I think this is a very strong Warlock Savage build in the current meta. Maybe it's at its worst against Assassins, but even so, still quite strong. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you next time.